Hey friends, thanks so much for stopping back to my channel. My name is Mindy, and it has been a hot minute, hasn't it? Oh my goodness, I have not recorded a video in so long. But when you are a mother of two children and you work outside the home and there's dance recitals and camping with scouts and baseball games and everything else, it is just so hard to keep up. Some days I feel like I can't breathe, let alone play The Sims. I have been playing The Sims though, and it's actually been really nice to kind of like take a break and just play and just chill. And yeah, sometimes you really need that. I understand why other YouTubers definitely take a break. But what brought me back? Werewolves. Werewolves. So listen, I gotta be honest with you. I'm not big into occults. I'm just not big into occults. I prefer realistic gameplay, and that's fine. That's fine. Like if you guys like to play with occults, that's fine. That's great. I always, whenever we get a new occult, I always create like a game, like a new save file, and I play with one of the Sims just to get like a good idea of how they work. And most of the time I don't even get them like aged to like an adult before I quit. It's just not my type of gameplay, which is, again, is fine. But I have to tell you, I am living for the build buy items in this game pack and the cast. The cast items are so good. I do wish that we would have gotten like a few more things, but it's fine. It is a game pack. I also wish we would have gotten a little bit more hair. And speaking of hair, we need long hair. I know that we have like one long hair that's like, it's really long and it's kind of wavy, which you would think that I would really like that because I have long wavy hair, but I straighten my hair. So we need like long straight hair. And speaking of hair, I'm a redhead, but really my hair is like more orange. And we don't have that in The Sims. Like we need, like, red hair doesn't always look like that bright like fire engine red hair. It's like a light orange or like a strawberry blonde. Like we need something like that in our game to represent us redheads out here who can't make sim cells because we don't have the right colored hair. Anyways, hi guys. Hi, welcome to my channel. So today, this is my first build that I have done with the new Werewolf game pack, and I am building an abandoned warehouse. I also want to apologize. I end up pulling so much stuff out of this debug catalog, so much stuff, and I was just kind of messing around with it, so I'm sorry this is a little bit all over the place. Usually my first couple builds are when we get a new game pack, because I'm looking at all the new stuff, and even though some of the stuff that I'm placing isn't new, it's fine. So this is a warehouse that I am building in preparation for a small like story that I'm creating, like maybe a small machinima, I guess, but it's for another build that I'm doing. So I created a build for a build that I'm doing. It doesn't make sense right now. It's fine. So the machinima that I am doing is about a family of four, and it is a mom, a dad, like a 10-year-old kid, and then a 2-year-old kid and toddler, I guess I should say, Sim. So anyways, Dad dies in a suspicious kind of fire, right? They're living in Newcrest, by the way. Dad passes away. What we don't know is that Mom has a dark history. And one night at like 3 in the morning, she wakes up her kids and she tells her oldest kid, she's like, take your little sister and run. Like, here's a bag of money I've been saving up for you. Here are some clothes. Here's a little bit of food. Take your sister and run. Don't look back. And so he just grabs his little sister and he runs, but he looks back in time to see Vlad the vampire open the door to his house, walk in and walk straight past the kids and go to his mom's room, where he shuts the door and the little kid hears screaming. So basically, Vlad killed his mom. I don't know. Well, I know how the story is going to play out. Anyways, so this kid takes his sister and he runs and he doesn't look back and he just keeps going. And finally, days later, they come across this town, which is Moonwood Mill, right? Did I get that right? Moonwood Mill? I don't remember. And they find this warehouse where it's basically like enough shelter and coverage for them. And so he decides to take his sister in there, and it's close to some areas around town where they can get food, and it's still in like a heavily wooded area as well, so they can kind of hide. What he doesn't know is that there is a couple, and they are werewolves, and they live not far from here, and they're always seeing these kids around town. And they're kind of like, what? Like, why are these kids like always around town? So they decide to like watch them one day because they're like, where are their parents at? And they watch the kids come into this warehouse. So the couple decide to walk into the warehouse. They find the kids. Yeah, it's a whole thing. You guys will have to just wait for the short story to see how it plays out. But I'm really excited for it because I think it's going to be a really good like vampire versus werewolf type thing. Even though I'm not really into that, I think it's going to be kind of fun to like create that story. And so yeah, I'm really excited. So anyways, this is the warehouse. And like I said, I really love the new items that we got with this game pack. I am disappointed though, and I heard somebody else say it, but when I first saw the trailer, there was a boarded up window, and I got so excited. I was like, yes, boards on windows. We finally need that. We had a game pack in The Sims 3 that had boarded up windows. It was called like the Then and Now house or something like that. It was something like that. Anyways, you could like buy it offline, and it had boarded up windows, and I was so disappointed when I found out that we don't have those boards in the windows. I was so upset because I want boarded up windows, and how perfect would it go with this? So anyways, Moonwind Mill is an old town that I guess they like do something with wood. What do they do? Like something with wood? I don't know. Anyway, and there's like the main factory, and I'm kind of pretending like this little factory warehouse was maybe like a sister factory to like the big factory. Like maybe this was the big factory's business building, or maybe this is where they shipped everything out, or I don't know. Anyways, it was just part of that factory, just in a different location. So that was kind of my thought on this, and I had a lot of fun building it. I had a lot of fun with like the tears and the scratches, and I liked putting all of the like stains around the walls, which you can see is what I'm doing right now. Most of those are from vampires, I think. Like some of the big holes I think are from vampires. I'm not quite sure. So I did have a hard time at landscaping this because I did want it to look like it blended in with the woods, but at the same time, like it is part of the factory, and so there's like a dirt road leading up to it. Of course, we don't have that exact color, which makes me mad. Like the Sims team always does this. They'll like create a dirt road, and then they won't give us that swatch for terrain paint, and then we can't match the terrain paint to the surrounding areas, and it's really frustrating. But anyways, so inside I basically created a loft. I was kind of like messing around a little bit, and I put a bathroom over here, and then I ended up moving the bathroom, and yeah, it was just kind of a mess. So what I kind of imagine is this little boy like found this, and maybe they've been living here for like 8 months or something. Like it's been a hot minute that they've been living here, and the couple across from them have just been kind of watching them and trying to figure out like, is there somebody that like an adult that lives with them, and they've kind of been like looking out for them too, like if maybe some like bad werewolves or something like come across them. I don't know. I haven't really played with the werewolves. Like I said, I did start a save file, and I literally just started playing it, so I don't quite know how the werewolves work. It does seem like the two groups are maybe like a bad quote unquote werewolves, and then there's like the more goody two shoes, how do you say that? Anyways, like the good werewolves, but I'm not quite sure. That's just what I'm grasping, so I don't know. Anyways, this little boy like cleans this place out, and I kind of put that like fire pit out in the yard, and I put a bunch of dirt around it because I think maybe something shady was going on with this warehouse, and maybe that's why it closed, and they were trying to like burn and bury evidence, maybe. I don't know, but that was my thought. So yeah, I don't know. Let me know how you feel about that, because this was like a spur of the moment build, because I came up with the storyline a couple days before this game pack came out, and then I was like, well, like I'm gonna have to add all these things. Like there's so much to a machinima. When you make a machinima, there's so much. I made a machinima once, and oh my goodness, the amount of time and effort it takes into, like, it's crazy. So you have to like build everything obviously beforehand or download it from the gallery. I like to build my own stuff. It's just how I am, but I have used like stuff on the gallery before. But anyways, so I was like, I'm gonna have to build this warehouse. And so yeah, total like spur of the moment. And I was just kind of like coming up with ideas and stories about this as we go along. So again, I imagine this little 10-year-old boy, he's got his sister in here, and he's like using the stuff around him to, like, some of the old wood to like build a bed for her and a bed for him. And I put the hay barrels in there, like maybe it'll like help keep them warm. I put this little tent in here that we got from the, what is that even called? Like the backyard, I don't even know. From the kid kit that we got recently. And I just imagine that maybe he found some blankets and decided to, like, he was trying to make a nice spot for his sister. Maybe she gets scared at night because their mom's not around. I'm not quite sure, but I imagine this kid is like pretty crafty. I also imagine that maybe he's like taught himself how to sew and how to knit so he can like make their blankets. And he's just become really resourceful using the stuff around him. And he's also still like struggling with like the loss of his mom. Like he had just lost his dad in a fire, and now he lost his mom, and he can't get like the picture of like Vlad like walking just straight past him, like out of his mind. He can't get it out of his mind. And I think later there's going to be some revenge, you know what I'm saying? So some werewolf versus vampires thing. I don't know, but I love it. By the way, I love these curtains too. I love how it just looks like a torn blanket that they hung over the windows. And again, I kind of imagine that they hung the blankets over the windows to keep like some of the light out if they have like lamps or something, which they do have lamps. I don't know how the kids would have gotten all this stuff, but it's The Sims. I don't know. So anyways, I just imagine that they use the blankets, like really thick blanket, to keep the light out. So maybe people don't realize that they're living there. And this little boy like thinks that he's covering his trail, but obviously he's not, because there's, there's a couple they're watching him and they see him, and they're good. Like they're good people, but he doesn't know that. And I think he's going to have a hard time kind of like trusting him when they find him. Like, I don't think that they're going to like turn him into like, children protection services or anything. I think that they're going to kind of maybe take them in and love them. But I think this kid's going to have a really hard time trusting anybody after that. But so yeah, he tries to make a little place for his sister where she can feel comfortable, and she can learn and play and, just have this little space. And so I think I used the pop-up book from that kit as well. Like maybe he sat down and made it out of paper one time or something. Maybe he was like telling her stories and decided to make a pop-up book. I wanted this to look like a kid decorated it. I don't necessarily know that I did very good, especially downstairs where it's more like a house. But I did add in the little car art table that we got from the kit too, because I imagine that maybe he likes to do art, and maybe he's still 10. He wants to do like his thing too, but instead he's had to like take on way more responsibilities than a 10-year-old should, So yeah, I don't know. Like I wanted it to look like a 10-year-old decorated it. Again, I'm not sure how good I did, because I'm not sure that the kid would think to create a full-on living room with a bookcase and everything. The kitchen, I imagine, was like already there, because again, I kind of imagine this is the warehouse where they did like all of their business. Maybe like the CEO like met at this warehouse, and they sat around and had coffee and talked business or something. I'm not quite sure, but either way, I think some of the stuff was probably already there. Like maybe there was a couch there, but it was like torn and ripped, and he had to sew some of it. Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm going with it. Again, I'm not sure that it necessarily looks like a kid actually decorated it, but I did my best. Also, the bathroom, I was like, I have to put a shower tub combo in here, because like there's going to be a toddler here. So she's gonna have to like get bathed. And I wasn't even thinking that we have a sink and like toddlers can bathe in the sink, but I don't even know if kids can bathe toddlers. Is that a thing? Like, can kid Sims like clean up toddlers? Like, can they bathe them? I'm not sure. Anyways, I stuck a tiny little TV here. I also really like the chairs that we got. They definitely, with the kit that we got, like, it was so like foreshadowing this werewolf kit because everything just goes together so well as I think the objects with like outdoor living. Is it outdoor living? I don't even know the names of these packs anymore, but they go so well together. It's the wooden or rustic pieces. I wish there was more. There's this like 90s grunge to the clothes though, that like I am just living for. The werewolf cuts and just the outfits, just I absolutely love it. So right here I put a chimney on the outside, but I didn't put a fireplace, and I kind of imagined maybe this was a like a furnace, and so I put like the grates there, and I think that's from Batu, Journey to Batu. So but yeah, so that pack is useful, right? Because I was able to use the grates. But yeah, so I just thought that was like a really good idea, and maybe they're able to like open it and put wood in there to heat it, and maybe he doesn't, like the 10-year-old doesn't think that like it's going to like leave smoke, and the smoke comes up, and maybe it kind of gives people a sign that there is somebody here. So I don't know, it's just kind of my idea. So yeah, but I also put stains all over the floor, and this is pretty much how it turns out. Obviously I still have to do the bathroom, but I didn't put a whole lot of decorations in here because they're not going to have a lot of decorations, right? Like they're going to have, you know, like just stuff that's already here basically, or stuff that they can create from things that are already here. So I don't imagine there was like too many decorations. I think I put a shelf over here on the wall. I did hang like a mirror in the bedroom, and I love that mirror. It's broken, and I just, oh, we just need more. Like we need more. I also put these little heaters here. Maybe he did realize that the furnace would give off smoke. I'm not sure. I haven't like figured out the finer details of this story. Yeah. But I did put a knitting basket and a like a, what is that called, a cross stitch? Why can't I think of the word? It's not cross stitch, but up here, because again I imagine that he's like had to teach himself how to like make clothes or fix clothes. And then over here on this little shelf I put this little light from the kid kit. I'm just gonna call it the kid kit, I don't know, and the little moonlight that we got with this game pack. It's so cute, and I thought again maybe like he made it for his sister to help her at nighttime if she's like worried or having like night terrors or something. But yeah, so in the, I guess like the garage over here on the outside, I put some like heavy machinery to make it look like, I don't know, make it look like it was a factory at one point. But again, like I said, when I created it, I didn't really have an idea of where I was going with it or what exactly it was that this warehouse created. I just knew that it was part of one Moonwood Mill, which is so freaking hard to say. But I also hung these little lights along the fence. I just think that they look so cute, and I love that this just looks so, it reminds me of my cousin and I. We used to sit on my grandma's like front porch, and we would divide the porch up when we were little and play house, and we would use the things around her porch or just anything that we could find to create like little furniture, like make our own little house. And that's what this reminded me of. It's just a bunch of like eclectic, really, like other people would look at it and say junk around the house, but this kid has turned it into like a full-on living situation. So that's what I think I really like about this warehouse. But we are coming to the end of this video. Pretty much I just decorate this. I think I do take down the sign in the front because it just felt a little bit out of place. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I am so happy to record a video again. I have some other videos too that I've actually recorded and just never edited, because I just didn't have the time. I still don't have the time, but I'm making the time. So hopefully I will see you guys again soon. Please let me know how you are enjoying this pack. Let me know what you think about this build and all of the other things going on in your life. I appreciate you guys stopping by, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.